In the quiet recesses of your mind, there lies a truth you can no longer ignore. Mediocrity, that silent thief, has crept into your thoughts, your actions, your very being. It speaks to you in whispers of comfort, urging you to settle, to remain content with what is easy, what is familiar. But I ask you, what is comfort if not a prison built with your own hands? What is mediocrity if not a betrayal of the greatness you were born to achieve? You are not destined to wander in the shadows of your potential. You were made for more than this. The call to greatness is not a fleeting thought. It is a command, etched into the very core of your existence. To demand excellence of yourself is not arrogance. It is the truest form of humility. It is to recognize that you owe it to yourself, to the world, and to those who will follow in your footsteps, to rise above the mediocrity that seeks to define you. Now is the time. Stand up, for the path to excellence is not paved in ease, it is carved in the fire of discipline, the forge of hard work, and the relentless pursuit of becoming who you are meant to be. 1. The quiet chains of mediocrity. Mediocrity, like a chain, binds you quietly, almost imperceptibly. It doesn't scream, it doesn't demand your attention with force. It simply whispers in the background of your thoughts, telling you that where you are is enough. You've done enough today, it says. This is good enough, it murmurs, wrapping you in a veil of comfort. But what is enough? What is good enough? Mediocrity doesn't challenge you to rise, it pulls you downward, gently, with the weight of complacency. It is the belief that you have reached the limit of your potential when, in reality, the limits you've imposed on yourself are nothing more than illusions, fabrications of your own mind. The chains of mediocrity are not always visible, but they are felt in every half-hearted effort, every moment you choose the easier path over the one that demands more of you. Understand this: mediocrity is not a state of being, it is a mindset. It is the belief that doing just enough to get by is acceptable. It's the lie we tell ourselves that we don't need to push beyond what's comfortable. But why? Why would you accept mediocrity when the very essence of your existence calls for something greater? Do you not feel the stirring in your soul, the quiet yearning that says, you are capable of more? It is not arrogance to acknowledge your potential. It is the most profound act of self-respect. The chains of mediocrity are self-imposed. They exist only because you have allowed them to. Every time you settle for less than your best, you tighten those chains. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you reinforce them. But hear this now. You have the power to break free. You are not a prisoner to your own limitations, unless you choose to be. To live in mediocrity is to squander the gift of your life. Every moment you spend not pursuing excellence is a moment lost. Every second spent in the safe embrace of the familiar, instead of venturing into the unknown, is a moment of stagnation, and stagnation is the death of growth. True greatness is not found in the comfort of mediocrity. It is forged in the fires of discomfort, in the deliberate choice to rise even when the path is steep and uncertain. The chains of mediocrity may seem strong, but they are fragile compared to the strength that lies within you. The only thing standing between you and your highest potential is your willingness to shatter the chains you've so long carried. Ask yourself, are you willing to live a life defined by quiet chains? Or will you stand up, break free, and step into the boundless horizon of your true potential? The choice, my friend, is yours. 2. Embrace your higher purpose. There comes a moment in every life, a silent calling that rises from deep within the soul, urging you to acknowledge the purpose for which you were created. It is not a whisper nor a fleeting thought. It is the profound understanding that you were born to achieve more, to become more than the ordinary, to live a life of greater meaning. The question is not whether this purpose exists, it is whether you are willing to embrace it fully. We live in a world that often encourages us to chase fleeting comforts, to follow the paths that lead to mediocrity, to settle into the safe, the known, the predictable. Yet, the truly great are those who hear the call of something higher. They are the ones who step beyond the veil of mediocrity and enter the arena of greatness. They do not do so because the path is easy, but because they recognize the weight of their higher purpose. And this purpose is not always clear at first. It requires you to look inward, to ask yourself what truly matters, and what you are willing to sacrifice to achieve it. To embrace your higher purpose means to cast aside the distractions that keep you from your true calling. It is to recognize that your life is not meant for the mundane. You were not born to simply exist, to pass time, to blend into the crowd. Your life is meant to stand for something greater. This higher purpose will not be given to you on a silver platter. It is not a simple answer that can be found in books or in the opinions of others. It is something you must discover within yourself. It is the thing that stirs your heart, that drives you to do more, to be more, to give more. It is the essence of who you are when you strip away the external expectations and pressures, when you face yourself honestly, and when you commit to living a life that reflects your truest values. Your higher purpose requires a shift in mindset. It requires you to see beyond the immediate gratification that mediocrity offers. It demands that you sacrifice short-term comforts for long-term fulfillment. It is the courage to rise early, to work late, to push when every part of you begs for rest. But it is also the greatest gift you can give to yourself, for when you walk in alignment with your purpose, life takes on a depth, a richness that is beyond comparison. When you embrace your higher purpose, you shift the very trajectory of your life. You are no longer drifting aimlessly, pulled along by the current of circumstance. You become the captain of your ship, steering it towards something far greater than comfort, greater than mediocrity, greater than the mundane existence so many settle for. You are becoming who you were always meant to be. There will be moments of doubt, moments when the weight of this journey feels too heavy, moments when you question whether it's worth it. But remember, every step you take toward your higher purpose is a step toward fulfillment. You were born for more. Embrace it fully. For when you do, you will find a strength within yourself that you never knew existed, and the world will never be the same because of it. 3. A call to rise above average. Average is the enemy of greatness, and yet it is the most tempting of comforts. It is the place where most people choose to settle, where the struggle ends, where the effort ceases. It feels safe, unthreatening, but in truth, it is a slow death to your potential. It is in the comfortable confines of average that we forget what it means to be extraordinary, to live with passion and purpose. To rise above average requires more than simply going through the motions of life. It demands that you look yourself in the mirror and ask, am I truly giving everything I have, or am I settling for less? The average person does not seek the best within themselves. They seek only enough. They do not strive for excellence. They do only what is necessary to get by. But greatness is not found in doing just enough. It is found in the relentless pursuit of becoming the best version of yourself, in pushing yourself past what you think is possible. To rise above average is to reject the collective mentality of complacency. It is to refuse to blend in, to refuse to follow the crowd, to refuse to live a life that is ordinary, predictable, and uninspired. It is to rise every day with a sense of purpose, a hunger for improvement, and a desire to do better than you did yesterday. This journey will be long and it will be difficult. The temptation to return to the comfort of mediocrity will always be there, whispering in your ear. But remember this, average is not enough. You are capable of so much more. To be average is to live a life of quiet regret, looking back at missed opportunities, wondering what might have been. But to rise above average is to take control of your life, to make choices that lead to growth, to struggle, to achievement. You will face obstacles along the way. There will be times when the weight of your ambitions feels too heavy, when the path seems too steep to climb. But it is in these moments of struggle that you find your strength. It is in these moments that you discover your true potential, the part of you that refuses to back down, the part of you that will not accept anything less than the best. To rise above average is to commit to excellence, not just in the big things, but in the small, everyday actions. It is in the way you show up for yourself, in the discipline you cultivate, in the standards you set. Excellence is a habit, a way of living, a constant push to be better, to do better, to give more. You may never be able to fully measure the impact of your greatness on the world, but you will know it in the quiet satisfaction of knowing that you gave everything you had, that you lived with purpose, that you refused to be average. In the end, the question is not whether you were the best, but whether you were the best version of yourself. And that, my friend, is a life worth living. So rise above average. The world awaits the greatness that only you can bring. 4. The power of self-demand. If you want to break free from mediocrity, you must learn to demand more from yourself than anyone else ever could. This is not about seeking external validation or accolades. It is about holding yourself to a standard that is unwavering, unyielding. It is about recognizing that true growth begins within. The moment you decide to demand excellence from yourself, you transform your life from one of passive existence to one of active creation. Self-demand is not a burden, it is a gift. It is the internal fire that drives you to rise earlier, to work harder, to push further than anyone else around you. It is the commitment to your own potential, a recognition that you are capable of so much more than you've allowed yourself to believe. Too often we find ourselves waiting for external circumstances to change, for someone to push us, for conditions to be perfect. But the truth is that the only thing standing in the way of your greatness is you. To demand more from yourself is to take full responsibility for your life. It is to stop making excuses and start taking action. It is to understand that the effort you put forth today determines the person you will become tomorrow. Mediocrity thrives in the absence of self-demand. It flourishes in the silence of unchallenged standards. But when you decide that you will no longer tolerate anything less than your best, you create a life of discipline, focus, and purpose. This power lies within you right now, but you must activate it. It is the decision to stop settling, to no longer accept the mediocre outcomes of half-hearted efforts. This is not about perfection, for perfection is a myth. It is about constant, relentless improvement. Being just a little better today than you were yesterday. It is about showing up with intention, with purpose, and with a refusal to be anything less than your best. Do not wait for motivation to strike. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the wind. Self-discipline, however, is the cornerstone of self-demand. It is the ability to keep going even when you do not feel like it, to push through the resistance, to rise above your doubts. This is what sets the truly successful apart from those who merely dream. They don't wait for the conditions to be perfect. They create the conditions for greatness by demanding more from themselves. When you start to demand more, you will find that your limits expand. What once seemed impossible will begin to feel achievable. The work that once felt too hard will become easier, not because it's less difficult, but because you have elevated yourself to meet the challenge. The strength to rise above your circumstances comes not from the world around you, but from within. You must hold yourself accountable. The world will not always be kind. Life will not always be fair. But your commitment to yourself will never fail you if you make the conscious decision to demand more, to hold yourself to the highest standard. It is in this pursuit of excellence that you will find your true power. Your future will be shaped by the level of self-demand you place on yourself today. So, ask yourself, how much do you truly want to achieve? How much greatness lies dormant within you, waiting to be unlocked? You have the power to decide, and it begins with one simple truth. The greatest force for change in your life is the demand you place on yourself. 5. There is a seduction in mediocrity, a quiet comfort that lulls you into a false sense of security. It promises ease, safety, and a life free from the struggle that greatness demands. It tells you, this is enough. And in its whispers, it convinces you to settle. To do just enough, to go through the motions, to live without challenge. It wraps itself in the familiar and convinces you that venturing beyond it is not worth the risk. But the greatest danger in mediocrity is not the discomfort of striving for more. It is the slow, invisible erosion of your potential. You cannot afford the luxury of mediocrity. It is a trap dressed in the disguise of comfort, and it robs you of the future you deserve. It gives you just enough satisfaction to keep you from seeking more, to keep you from reaching for the stars, to keep you from unlocking the full measure of your gifts. Mediocrity is not a neutral space. It is a regression, a retreat from the heights you could scale. Every moment you spend in its embrace is a moment that slips away, unfulfilled, unnoticed, unrewarded. The price of mediocrity is your own growth. Every time you choose the comfortable path, you are choosing stagnation. You are choosing to remain where you are rather than rising to where you could be. And mediocrity is relentless. It does not ask for your consent. It simply waits for you to grow complacent. It preys on your doubts, your fears, your insecurities. It tells you that you are fine just as you are, that there is no need to push further, to do more, to become better. But deep down, you know the truth. Mediocrity is not your ally. It is your greatest enemy. The life of mediocrity is a life of quiet regret. When you look back on it, you will not lament the failures you endured, for failure is often the path to success. No. You will mourn the moments you could have lived more fully, the dreams you could have pursued, the challenges you could have faced. You will regret the opportunities you let slip through your fingers because you were too comfortable, too unwilling to push beyond the easy, the familiar, the mundane. Understand this. Greatness requires discomfort. It requires sacrifice. It demands that you leave behind what feels safe, what feels familiar, and step into the unknown. But the rewards of this journey, those few who dare to break free from mediocrity, are profound. They are the ones who rise, not because they are special, but because they are willing to pay the price that others are not. They are willing to embrace the struggle, to endure the hardship, to rise again when they fall. They are the ones who face their fears, who refuse to let mediocrity define them. It is not enough to simply exist. You are not here to merely go through life without purpose. You are here to make an impact, to leave a legacy, to push beyond the ordinary and achieve the extraordinary. You owe it to yourself and to those who will look to you as an example to refuse mediocrity at every turn. Yes, comfort will always try to pull you back into its arms. It will tell you that you've done enough, that you deserve a break, that rest is due. But I challenge you. Do not allow the comfort of mediocrity to be your reward. Allow discomfort to become your ally. Let it be the force that propels you to rise higher, to break barriers, to strive for excellence in every area of your life. Mediocrity is a comfort you simply cannot afford, for in the end, the price you pay for remaining where you are is far too great. Choose greatness. Choose discomfort. Choose the life you were always meant to live. 6. Excellence isn't an option, it's a duty. Excellence is not about perfection. It is about the relentless pursuit of becoming your best self. It is about knowing that today you can do better than you did yesterday, and tomorrow you will strive to do even more. Excellence requires a mindset that does not accept excuses, that does not tolerate mediocrity, and that refuses to lower its standards in the face of difficulty. Excellence is a promise you make to yourself to never stop growing, to never stop reaching higher, to never stop giving your best, regardless of the outcome. The beauty of excellence is that it is not tied to external validation or external measures of success. It is rooted in your own integrity, your own commitment to your craft, your own determination to rise above the ordinary. It is knowing that your true value does not come from how others see you, but from how you see yourself. The pursuit of excellence is not driven by the applause of others, but by an inner sense of purpose, a deep understanding that your potential is limitless and that you owe it to yourself to fully realize it. We often shy away from the word duty because it carries weight. It demands action, responsibility, and sacrifice. But duty is what separates the average from the exceptional. Duty is what drives you to continue when you feel like giving up. Duty is what pushes you to stand tall, even when the world tries to bring you down. It is the unwavering belief that your actions have meaning, that your efforts matter, and that your commitment to excellence serves not only your own growth, but the greater good of all who come into contact with you. Excellence requires discipline. It requires sacrifice. It requires you to keep moving forward, even when the journey feels long and uncertain. But there is no greater reward than the fulfillment that comes from knowing you gave everything you had. To pursue excellence is to live a life of purpose and meaning. It is to stand at the end of each day, knowing that you have given your all, knowing that you have pushed yourself to be the best version of who you are capable of becoming. 7. The price of complacency. Complacency is the silent killer of progress, the quiet thief of potential. It creeps into your life unnoticed, convincing you that you are fine just as you are, that the work is done, that there's no need for further effort. But complacency is a lie. It is a comfort that deceives you into thinking that the status quo is acceptable, that you can stop striving and still be satisfied with what you have. It whispers in your ear, "You've made it," and for a moment you believe it. But the truth is far more brutal. Complacency is the price you pay for stagnation, for letting go of the relentless pursuit of greatness. It is easy to become complacent. In a world that rewards mediocrity and celebrates the bare minimum, it is tempting to rest on your laurels, to look around and think, "This is enough." But what is enough? Is it the safety of knowing that you have done just enough to get by? Or is it the fulfillment of knowing that you gave everything, that you pushed beyond your comfort, that you truly lived up to your potential? Complacency is a choice, and like all choices, it comes with consequences. It comes with the cost of unfulfilled dreams, of untapped potential, and of a life lived in quiet regret. When you allow complacency to settle into your life, you stop growing. You stop challenging yourself. You stop reaching for the next level. And without growth, there is only decay. Without challenge, there is only stagnation. You must ask yourself, is this the life I want to lead? Is this all I am capable of? And if the answer is no, then you must choose to let go of complacency and take action. It is natural to want rest, to want peace, to want to ease the pressure. But true peace does not come from inaction. It comes from the satisfaction of knowing that you have given your all. True fulfillment comes not from avoiding discomfort, but from embracing the journey, no matter how difficult it may be. It is the person who keeps pushing, who keeps striving, who keeps improving, even when the path is hard, who finds true peace. The price of complacency is not only the loss of what could have been, it is the loss of who you could have become. Think of all the potential within you, all the dreams that lie dormant, waiting for you to wake up and make them real. Each day spent in complacency is a day that slips away, a day that could have been used to take another step toward greatness, another step toward the person you were always meant to be. But breaking free from complacency requires courage. It requires the courage to look at your life and say, I am not done. I am not finished. I will not settle for less. It requires the courage to push beyond the comfort zone, to break the chains that hold you in mediocrity and to chase after something greater than yourself. It is the decision to stop existing and start living. When you choose to rise above complacency, you choose growth, you choose challenge, you choose the discomfort that comes with progress, and in doing so, you open the door to the extraordinary life you were meant to live. Complacency may feel comfortable, but it is a trap. It holds you back from becoming the person you are capable of being. The price of complacency is too high, and you deserve more. So, let complacency go. Don't allow it to rob you of your future. Choose the hard path. Choose the path of growth, of discomfort, of striving for excellence. It is the only path that will lead you to the fulfillment you seek. 8. Mastery through relentless practice. Mastery is not a gift. It is earned through relentless practice, through the deliberate honing of skills, and through the commitment to never stop improving. Too often we see greatness in others and assume that it came easily, that it was simply a product of natural talent. But the truth is that mastery is built over time, through countless hours of effort, focus, and discipline. It is not achieved through shortcuts or by wishing for success. It is earned, one small step at a time. To pursue mastery is to choose the long, often difficult road over the easy, fleeting path of mediocrity. It is to understand that true excellence is not something that can be obtained overnight, but something that is developed through consistent, dedicated practice. It is in those small, often unglamorous moments of repetition that greatness is forged. Every mistake, every failure, every setback is simply part of the process, a necessary part of becoming who you are meant to be. The question is not whether you will fail, it is whether you will persist. It is easy to become discouraged when progress seems slow, when the results don't come immediately, when the effort feels like it's not yielding the reward you expect. But mastery is not about instant gratification. It is about cultivating a mindset that understands that every day of practice, no matter how small, is a step closer to greatness. Each moment of focus, each hour of work, each repetition brings you closer to the mastery you seek. The true test of a master is not in how fast they rise, but in their unwavering commitment to keep going, to keep practicing, even when the path is not immediately rewarding. The pursuit of mastery demands patience, it demands persistence, it demands the willingness to show up day after day, to do the work, to put in the hours, to face the discomfort, and to continue even when progress feels invisible. This is where most people falter. They expect results too soon, and when they don't come quickly enough, they abandon the effort altogether. But the true master understands that success is built on the foundation of consistent, purposeful action. There are no shortcuts, there are no overnight successes. There is only practice and more practice. You must ask yourself, are you willing to dedicate yourself to mastery? Are you willing to put in the hours, to embrace the challenge, to persist through the struggles, knowing that each moment of effort brings you one step closer to greatness? Mastery is not a destination, but a journey, one that requires discipline, focus, and an unwavering belief in the value of the process. Understand that mastery is not just about achieving a certain skill level. It is about constantly refining and improving, even when you feel you've reached a high point. There is always room for growth, always room for improvement, always another layer of depth to uncover. The master is never satisfied with where they are. They are always seeking ways to push further, to do better, to become more. 9. The importance of mental toughness. In the pursuit of excellence, there will be moments when you are tested, when everything seems to be working against you, when failure seems inevitable. It is in these moments that mental toughness becomes your most valuable ally. Mental toughness is not just about being strong when things are easy. It is about finding the strength to continue when things are hard. It is the ability to push through the doubts, the obstacles, and the setbacks, and to keep moving forward with resolve, no matter the circumstances. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is often not talent or resources, but mental toughness. The successful are not the ones who face no challenges. They are the ones who face those challenges head-on, with courage and determination. They are the ones who refuse to be defined by their failures, but instead use those failures as stepping stones to greater achievement. They are the ones who, in the face of adversity, dig deeper, push harder, and persevere. In order to cultivate mental toughness, you must first embrace discomfort. The easy path will never lead to greatness. It is only through facing challenges, through stepping out of your comfort zone, that you develop the strength to overcome the obstacles in your way. Embrace the struggle, for it is in the struggle that you will grow. When you encounter difficulty, do not shrink back. Instead, lean into it. Recognize it as an opportunity to strengthen your mental resolve. There will be moments when you feel like giving up. There will be days when it seems like the odds are stacked against you, when every step forward feels like it's met with 2 steps backward. In those moments, you must choose to stay committed. You must remind yourself that mental toughness is not about being immune to fear, pain, or disappointment. It is about facing those emotions and continuing anyway. It is about developing the grit to keep going, even when your mind tells you to stop. As you continue on your journey to excellence, remember this: the road will not always be easy, and the obstacles will not always be small, but mental toughness will carry you through. It will be the force that keeps you moving when others stop. It will be the strength that allows you to face adversity with courage. It will be the foundation upon which you build your success. So, train your mind as you would train your body. Strengthen it, challenge it, and allow it to grow. Your ability to stay mentally tough will be the key to unlocking your fullest potential. No matter how difficult the road ahead may seem, you have the power within you to rise above it. Keep going, keep fighting, and never, ever quit. 10. The power of consistency. Consistency is the quiet force that drives progress, the steady hand that shapes excellence. It is easy to believe that success comes from one grand, momentous effort, the breakthrough, the sudden stroke of genius, the overnight achievement. But this is an illusion. True success, true excellence, is built on consistency. The small daily actions that over time compound into something extraordinary. Consistency is the backbone of achievement. It is the unwavering commitment to show up day after day, regardless of how you feel, regardless of the circumstances. It is the habit of taking deliberate action, even when motivation wanes, even when the results are not immediately visible. It is the understanding that greatness is not achieved in bursts of effort, but in the slow, steady pursuit of excellence, every single day. So, commit to consistency. Set the intention to take one small, deliberate action each day toward your goals. Do not expect instant gratification, but trust that your efforts are building something greater. When you feel discouraged, remind yourself that progress is being made, even if it is not visible yet. The compound effect of consistency will pay off in ways you cannot yet imagine. Keep going, keep showing up, and know that every step you take is one step closer to the excellence you seek. 11. Failure is not the enemy. It is the most honest teacher you will ever encounter. It is not something to fear or avoid, but something to embrace, to learn from, and to grow through. In our society, failure is often seen as the end, the final judgment of our efforts. We see it as a sign of weakness, of inadequacy. But in truth, failure is not an end, it is a beginning. It is the moment when we are forced to look at ourselves, to confront our limitations, and to rise stronger than before. To fear failure is to fear growth itself. Failure is the necessary stepping stone to success. It is the trial by fire that burns away the excess, leaving only the core of who you are, stronger and more resilient. Without failure, there can be no true growth. Without failure, there can be no progress. Failure is the force that sharpens you, that forces you to innovate, to adapt, to rise above. It is not a mark of defeat, it is a badge of courage. It shows that you dared to push beyond your comfort zone, that you attempted something beyond your reach, that you were willing to risk everything to achieve something meaningful. The successful are not those who have never failed. They are those who have failed and risen again. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every moment of success is built upon a foundation of failures. Behind every triumph lies a series of setbacks, mistakes, and moments of doubt. But the difference is that those who achieve greatness do not let failure define them. They let it refine them. They learn from it, adjust, and keep moving forward. Failure is not something to be ashamed of. It is something to be proud of. It means you tried, you pushed yourself, you took a risk, you did not let fear hold you back, and now you have the opportunity to learn, to improve, to come back better than before. Every failure teaches you something valuable. It teaches you what works and what does not. It teaches you what you are truly capable of and what you still need to work on. Failure does not diminish you. It refines you, sharpens you, and molds you into something greater. Understand this: failure is not something to be avoided, it is something to be welcomed. It is the tool that sharpens your skill, the fire that tempers your resolve, the challenge that strengthens your mind. Without failure, there is no progress. Without failure, there is no growth. So, when you fail, and you will, don't see it as a reflection of your worth. See it as a reflection of your courage, your willingness to try, your commitment to becoming better. Use failure as a stepping stone, not as a stumbling block. Let it propel you forward, let it fuel your ambition, and let it guide you toward the greatness that awaits. 12. The discipline of patience. In a world that demands instant results and immediate gratification, patience is often seen as a weakness, a delay on the path to success. But in reality, patience is one of the most powerful virtues you can cultivate. It is the ability to endure, to wait without frustration, to persist without losing sight of the end goal. True success is not achieved in the blink of an eye, but through the steady, measured pace of those who have the discipline to wait, the wisdom to recognize the right moment, and the strength to endure the inevitable challenges along the way. Patience is not passive, it is an active, deliberate choice to remain steadfast in your purpose, to continue moving forward with quiet determination, even when progress is slow or unseen. It is the recognition that growth takes time, that mastery requires years of consistent effort, that the fruits of your labor will not ripen overnight. And in this waiting, in this slow unfolding of your efforts, you become stronger. Your character is shaped, your resolve is tested, and your capacity to handle the weight of your dreams is built. Patience is also the antidote to frustration. In the face of setbacks, when things don't go according to plan, it is easy to become discouraged, to lose hope, and to give in to impatience. But those who succeed in life are not those who are quick to abandon their goals at the first sign of difficulty. They are those who understand that everything worth achieving takes time. They have the patience to see things through, to wait for the right moment, and to trust that their hard work will eventually yield results. The key to patience is understanding that time is not your enemy. It is a gift. Time allows you to refine your skills, to adjust your approach, and to learn from your mistakes. When you act with patience, you give yourself the space to grow, to develop, and to adapt. You don't rush toward an outcome. You embrace the journey. You understand that every step, no matter how small, is part of the process. You trust that success will come, not because you demand it, but because you are willing to wait for it. It is important to remember that while patience is vital, it is not an excuse for complacency. Patience does not mean inactivity. It means working consistently, steadily, and with focus, while understanding that the results of your efforts may take time to materialize. It is the willingness to keep showing up every day, even when you cannot see the immediate payoff. Know the disciplined patience to keep working, even when the path is unclear, is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who fall short. There will be moments when impatience tempts you, when you want to abandon the process because the results are not coming fast enough. In those moments, remind yourself that the greatest achievements in history were not the result of rushing or forcing things. They were the result of slow, deliberate progress, unwavering commitment, and the discipline to stay the course, no matter how long it took. Patience teaches you the value of timing. It allows you to wait for the right opportunities, to make the right decisions, and to act with wisdom. It teaches you to endure hardship without giving up, to face adversity without becoming bitter, and to keep your eyes on the prize, even when the road is long and winding. Your success will not be the product of impatience or haste. It will be the result of your discipline to wait, to endure, and to trust that every moment of effort is a step forward on the path to greatness. 13. The virtue of self-reflection. Self-reflection is the mirror through which you can see the true nature of your soul. It is the act of stepping back, of looking within and honestly evaluating your actions, your thoughts, your desires, and your motivations. In a world that constantly demands your attention, where the noise and distractions of life pull you in every direction, it is easy to lose sight of who you truly are and what you truly want. But the practice of self-reflection brings clarity. It allows you to separate yourself from the chaos and find the stillness within. Without self-reflection, you risk moving through life like a ship without a rudder, drifting aimlessly, pulled by the currents of external circumstances. It is only through the process of introspection that you can gain insight into your true desires, your weaknesses, your strengths, and your purpose. Self-reflection is the tool that enables you to align your actions with your values, to measure your progress, and to make course corrections when necessary. To reflect on your life is not an exercise in self-criticism or self-blame. It is an opportunity to understand yourself on a deeper level. It is the chance to look at your successes and failures with honesty, to learn from them, and to use them as stepping stones toward growth. Every action you take, every decision you make, carries with it a lesson, and self-reflection is the key to unlocking that wisdom. When you take the time to reflect, you ask yourself the hard questions. Why did I react that way? What was my true intention behind that action? What are my deepest desires, and are they aligned with the person I am becoming? These are not questions for judgment. They are questions for growth. The answers will not always be easy to face, but they will always be valuable. They will guide you, shape you, and direct you toward a more intentional, purposeful life. Self-reflection also allows you to cultivate self-awareness. It teaches you to notice the patterns in your thoughts and behaviors, the ways in which you sabotage your own progress, and the areas of your life that require attention. It gives you the power to change course, to course correct in real time, to stop repeating mistakes, and to grow beyond your past limitations. In the practice of self-reflection, you must cultivate honesty. The truth is not always comfortable, and the process of looking inward can be confronting. But it is in these moments of discomfort that the greatest growth occurs. When you can see your flaws, your shortcomings, and your failures clearly, you can take responsibility for them and begin to make the necessary changes. It is through this honest self-examination that you develop integrity, the ability to hold yourself accountable and to live in alignment with your highest values. Self-reflection also helps you connect with your deeper purpose. It forces you to ask yourself, what am I doing with my life? Am I living in a way that is aligned with my true self? This introspective practice helps you filter out the distractions, the opinions, and the judgments of others, and focus instead on what truly matters to you. It allows you to connect with your inner vision, to clarify your goals, and to remind yourself why you started your journey in the first place. To reflect is to pause and to listen to your heart, your mind, and your soul. It is to create space in your life to think, to grow, and to become more self-aware. It is not a luxury, but a necessity. For without self-reflection, how can you ever know if you are on the right path? How can you make informed decisions about your future if you do not first understand your past and your present? In the stillness of reflection, you will find the guidance you seek. In the moments of silence, the answers will emerge. And in this wisdom, you will find the strength to take the next step in your journey toward excellence. So, make time for self-reflection. Let it become a regular practice in your life, a moment each day to look inward, to assess where you are, where you've been, and where you are headed. In the act of self-reflection, you will find the clarity, the direction, and the wisdom to continue your pursuit of greatness.